What's up, dudes and dudes of the internet? My name's Scyushi, and today we're going to be doing something very, very special. I gotta give shout outs because somebody on the dev team ended up reaching out to me, or maybe it was their socials team, whatever. They gave me early access to version 1.0 of Core Keeper. Now, you know, I'm pretty excited about that, and I've been stocking up some recordings, but today marks the day of the free weekend for Core Keeper. So you guys will actually be able to play up to 3 biomes absolutely free for this weekend. And to celebrate, I'm going to be doing Core Keeper Weekend, where we're going to go through these 3 biomes together. And I just gotta make sure that I bring all the right tools and items with me. If you were curious about any of this stuff, you know, I've got a very, very lengthy co-op series of Core Keeper, and we will end up doing some co-op in the future. But for this Core Keeper weekend, my buddy's like away while I'm recording this. And we are actually going to say goodbye to our beautiful world here, because we're going to hop into a new world, because the generation is quite different in the 1.0 release. So one thing you're going to notice right out of the bat that I notice is performance is definitely a lot better. Some of the icons have been cleaned up in for various resources and stuff. And then we've also got this right here. What is this? Well, they've actually added a new mechanic where bosses will actually have a waypoint beside them. This is huge for those of you that haven't played Core Keeper up to this point, because you can put down teleporters late game, but when you do, it usually takes like 20 minutes for the thing to heat up before you can start using it. And it can be a bit annoying trying to craft a bunch of portals to lay down by bosses and stuff, while also trying to travel out to some points of interest. The game is very beautiful, and I would very quickly describe it as top-down Terraria. And when you're starting a new world, you actually have all these different settings that you can set up that will allow you to choose like how all of the generation works. Oh, also the new skills, right? So there's magic and then there's summoning. I'm really excited to see those. Oh, and before I head out, they also shifted the bosses around a little bit. So we've got the Goblin King, I forget what his name is, but he is actually a main story boss now, rather than a side optional, really, really hard boss, which means he got nerfed and kind of rebalanced. The main reason they did this is because they wanted to have the giant worm boss and the giant slime boss, but they made the disgusting maggot queen optional, because a lot of people were actually like disturbed by the biome, which I don't blame them. Now, thankfully, because I already kind of have everything on this character, it means that I can just really skip around and kind of show the cool stuff to you guys. Whoa, that's a new enemy. I've noticed that the generation is a lot better. There's a lot more natural light and just rooms. I'll also mention very briefly that there are builds in this game, and I'm rocking some of the strongest armor in the game. I hope that that's not considered spoilers for some people, but most of all, we've got the physical range damage build. So we're going to be using our beautiful Phantom Spark, which is the strongest bow in the game. Pretty much every time they end up having a major update like this, they usually add some new legendary item, because most items in the game naturally will have durability, except for the legendaries. So I would assume that means there's going to be, hello pet. There's going to end up being like a legendary staff, like a wizard staff weapon, and maybe a summoning tool. This is a pet. That's not considered like a summon. Oh, we got slime. This might actually be going towards the slime boss, I hope. Oh yeah, there it is. Hey, buddy boy. You want to play with me? Look at all the damage that I do to him. Oh, he's already dead. Oops. Hey, dude. All right, I got to build a house for this guy. Curious egg. Oh, he just sells eggs now. Oh, that's cool. So that needs an incubator, which we don't have yet. Oh, a mushroom. That's a mushroom hat. That's new as well. Or, well, it's been a long time since I played, so I don't know if it's new. No, these are new. I've never seen this before. 3 set bonus is 15%. Magic barrier is added as magic damage. Oh, dude, they have magic set. And there's our sticky stick. Whoa. The spell ricochets until it hits. Dude, that could actually be insanely overpowered. Because if I can just fill a room up with these, so now we can put the slime eye thing we found into here, if I recall. And then that's gonna end up unlocking some critical stuff for us. The good old slime sword, but more importantly, Gorm the Devourer's scanner and Malogaz, the corrupted scanner. This is essentially going to mark the next bosses on the map. And it makes me laugh because I think back to when my buddy and I were playing this game. We put so many hours into the game without realizing these scanners were a thing. Oh right, they ended up changing so many items that you can flip sideways now. Oh, that's so freaking good. I just wanted to kind of show you guys the starting progression. So you would start with wood armor, wood tools. This is where you would gain access to farming in the game, with the next workbench being the copper bench, which would give us access to various other things. The salvage and repair station is so that you can repair durability on your items. You'll salvage items for scrap parts, and then that's used to repair most things. So it's really, really cheap up until the late game when it starts taking some of the end game ore. The cooking is insanely valuable in this game because not only do you gotta consider your hunger, but you can get some food items that give you insane buffs, which we're not gonna be consuming any of those today because I don't need them for any of the first 3 biomes. There's also the furnace for smelting, and you can check my channel. I actually have a auto smelting farm thing that I kind of designed. It's not like this game has like super complicated redstone or anything like that, but I'm quite proud of my furnace smelter. And the livestock workbench is so that we could capture some of those animals that we saw in the wild. Livestock is different than pet eggs that you'll end up having, an ally that comes along with you. It levels up, it can attack, or it can be support type of thing. Livestock is more so to try and get like some sort of various resources and stuff. It's very valuable, but I haven't really messed with it too much. Now I'm just gonna dig this out really quick because in order to have the merchant spawn, we have to build him a little house. Thankfully, there's no fuel supply required in order to forge in this game, which I love. It does pay to have a lot of different furnaces on the ground, or furni, whatever, so that you can have this forge as quick as possible. Oh, and when I chopped that tree down earlier, you can always place them back down. So while we wait for those resources to forge, I'm just gonna head out and see if I can end up finding some more ancient gemstone and some mechanical parts. Oh, great opportunity to talk about this. So I just randomly found a copper chest. You can craft keys that will allow you to open those chests, and they're pretty good for like starting resources and stuff. Oh, and a random chest just in the middle of nowhere. There's a copper key inside it too. Convenient, so I can show you guys. And then we also got a musket. Thankfully, there's no ammo in this game. So if I grab this chest and then I put the key in it, bada bing, bada boom, gives us some currency and a wood crossbow. What the heck is that? Whoa. There's exploding walls now? Ooh, wait, what's this? Oh, another little crossbow. All right, there's an enraged potion, which is actually really good. The mushrooms are pretty good for starting at the beginning of the game too. Witch Doctor Jeans. Oh, minion attack speed. And this is the projectile target thing. Now this is really lucky. I found a chest randomly that has a whole bunch of seeds. I don't need any of these, so I don't care, but that would otherwise be very, very nice. Ooh, really? We actually got one of these right away too. There we go. I just hopped into my main file so that I could grab an ocarina for you guys. Oh, I gotta play the right notes. I did it! It only took me like 15 tries. But otherwise, this again would be very worth it. Ooh, beautiful. If I was early on in the game. And this is an invaluable item that you can craft later on, which teleports us back to the core, which is like the hub area. Hey, giant mushroom, die! Oh, I see. He has to shatter his soft shell first. These are late game transportation. Was there always a wooden one? I feel like there was not a wooden one before, but again, it's been a long time since I played. Dude, that's my new favorite thing. I love that. Again. So if you ever see this giant pathway here, that's one of the big boy bosses, but I want to do these bosses in order, so I don't want to fight him yet. Oh, hello, sleeping guy. Gold node. So the nodes are not going to be super important for you guys early game. You won't be able to do anything with these until you get to the 4th biome. And anytime you see weird things like this on the ground, this is actually a spawning pad. So you could gather this and try to set up a spawner inside your base somewhere. Dude, no way. Indestructible wall. Wait, what is this luck? I think this is a maze that gives you one of the pieces of like the strongest sword. Thank goodness I've got these wood bridges. You want to bring those everywhere because it allows you to build over like edges and cliffs and junk like that. What is this? What do we get? Oh my god, it's the clear gemstone. This is insanely rare. Like what? All right, my inventory's full, so let's warp out of here. And then I can craft, I think I can craft the 2nd boss totem. I think he's the 2nd boss totem, right? The guy on the right, the Goblin King. Oh, the Devourer is the next boss. Okay, well, we'll go fight him in a sec, but I'll grab this so that we have a scanner. So just to paint a picture for you guys with the map, see this right here? That's the Devourer. So what he does actually is he circles around the spawn. So if you go off in any direction, you're guaranteed to find his lair. Whoa, spear guys. I think those are new enemies. That's the thing, like, I don't know how much is 1.0 and how much is just stuff that I haven't seen because I haven't played this game in a while. The larval biome unanimously sucks and nobody likes it because those big larvas will actually remove your torches when you place them down. So you kind of have to make sure that you are very careful when you get to the larval biome and you build walls everywhere for the sake of your sanity of your tunnels, because otherwise they're going to slowly go through all of your tunnels, removing all light sources. Iron sledgehammer I just found randomly, which, I mean, hey, I'll take it. Also, anytime you see an item that says valuable, it means you can sell it to the merchant. I just haven't gotten him to spawn in my base yet. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the boss is always going clockwise, which means all I gotta do is turn around and eventually I'll come across him. There he is. Oh, now I'll just show you guys how big this guy is, just for coolness sake. And I won't kill him as quickly as I did the slime because I want to show you guys his attacks. So what he's gonna do is he's gonna start running around in circles and he's gonna try and like catch me and eat me. And he destroys the terrain too, so it's really cool and kind of horrifying at the same time. Oh! I feel like that was a different death animation. Oh! And somebody dropped a bone coral ring. We can also plop this in here, which gives us access to the larval spike club, the Grubzooka, which is the weapon that I've been using for digging. Really, really useful. And the recall idol. Let's also craft up to a copper crafting table so I can show you guys. At any point in this game, you can get rid of your old crafting table because you can just hit these arrows right here to go back to the wood crafting table and so on and so forth for the lower tiers. Early on, you're gonna wanna upgrade your crafting table as quickly as possible though, because you can see we've got better light sources because normally it's quite dark in this game. I've got just the strongest lights in the game. Better inventory space, fishing, if you really want to get into it, which has some of the best buffs in the entire game, but is ungodly boring in my opinion. A glass smelter, which is most of all used for like builds and stuff. The anvil, which I'll show you guys what this does in a second. The railway forge, electronics table, which I should craft this just to see if there's any new types of electronics. The egg incubator for those eggs we keep finding, and the tin workbench, which requires tin bars. All of the stuff over here on the right is most of all cosmetic. So there's like painter table, glass workbench. It's for crafting various glass cosmetic items and junk. Carpenter's table for furnishing, and more importantly, a bed, which we're going to need to summon the merchant. So the electronics table has the generator, which is pretty much used to, you know, have power. It's like a redstone block, let's say. But then you'll need to have electrical wires connected to your various things, including lamps, electric doors, table saw, which is a very, very valuable item because it's going to craft wood into sawed wood, which is used for a lot of builds. And you can actually make an automatic tree farm, but again, we need to get access to drills. And then there's a cross circuit, delay circuit, all these other various things, including, oh, a pressure plate. They finally have pressure plates. Heck yeah, dude, they didn't have pressure plates when I played. And if we open the Anvil, this is going to be where we'll get various bits of gear here and there. So we've got the raincoat set, a wooden shield. Shields are really cool in this game. You basically just stand still and block and you can tank all sorts of damage. And then the figurines can be very rare depending on the boss or enemy that you're farming them from. And you can place them down. Also, this might be on some of your guys' mind, but can you end up using a crafting table with stuff in nearby chests? Yes, you can, but it's only like a few blocks away, because otherwise you can see right here that it's going to take copper and tin out of the chest that's right here next to me. So let's upgrade to the tin workbench, better bag, bug catching net for catching bugs. The automation table, very, very valuable. There's also going to be the music workbench for crafting instruments. And the next table is going to be the iron one. Alchemist table for potions. This is a very valuable item. And the loom for making fiber and cloth costumes and stuff. Cosmetic again. Same with all these other things. Except for the spike trap. That actually does damage and you can set up auto farms with them. So if we open up the automation table, they do have lower tier drills. Oh, that's so huge. If you search my channel, I actually have an auto tree farm video as well. But anyways, I ended up going into my primary world again just to gather up some supplies so that we can skip up to the next tier and show you guys what's what. So the iron crafting table, gives us a bucket. Oh my God, you can actually transport water source blocks now. Holy cow. The cartography table is most of all if you're playing multiplayer, because that'll be a map that everyone can interact with. That'll give the map to everyone who interacts with it. There's the crafting table that allows you to craft keys, the jewelry workbench, which will give you rings and amulets, lots of really good starting gear, and the smelter kiln, which is required to forge up gold and some higher tiered resources. And then of course, more cosmetic stuff. It's gonna be the bronze set of armor, a couple different weapons here, but we can already bump up to the next tier, which is gonna be the even cooler iron set, including an iron shield. And otherwise the next crafting table would be the scarlet bar, which means that we won't have access to that over the free weekend. And I'm keeping my content at that level. There we go. So I crafted up a bed and then this idiot showed up. So this guy's really good for not only just selling items for money, which is going to really hit you hard in the end game, but he can sell you some stuff, including these eggs. I should also point out while I'm building this up that if you have a shovel, you can dig the ground block, which again is very valuable to make your place look beautiful because you can take ground from other areas like brass blocks or whatever. It is also, however, something that will eventually be required down the line because certain plants will only grow on their respected surfaces. So now I'm gonna put down the other mysterious idol that we got and a bed right there. And there's our next merchant, which I think this is this is the boss guy. So this actually lets us summon the giant slime, resummon Gorm, the Devourer, and summon the Hive Mother. In any case, this is where you will have your money rained, because each of the bosses, when they die, will drop a boss chest, which is really, really good for storage. But more importantly, the loot inside the chest is random. So for example, if you're trying to get a specific set of armor or like a weapon or whatever from the boss, it might require you to kill it multiple times. All you would do in an example of the slime boss is I would have to go back to where I fought the slime. So here's where I fought him. I can already tell this is where his summoning pool is going to be. Basically, there's going to be a little icon on the ground, and that's going to be like where the boss is summoned. But anyways, I think it's about time we ended up facing the final boss, don't you? So let's use the scanner. And it has a beautiful effect. And now we know that the boss is over here. Looks like we actually generated another strange structure I've never seen. Because I don't think this is one of those mazes, but it is indestructible blocks. Just remember that when you're going through these dungeons, you want to break all the pots because you'll get tons of resources out of it. New item, Soaring Hoodie. 2-set movement speed bonus, 3-set magic damage for a short duration on crit hit. Ooh, cool. This might actually normally be really difficult if I was early on. Look at my health. I'm rocking endgame gear and these guys are slowly whittling me down. Granted, I don't have my potions on me. Hold the phone. This is a dungeon tied to the boss. Oh, heck yeah. I also ended up finding one of the waypoints that lets me go back to home base. Oh, that's so sick. That means I actually didn't find it for the other bosses. I didn't even notice. While I was killing the wizards, I got really lucky and got a fireball staff, which is a really good starting magic weapon. I don't know where the summoning tools are though, and I don't necessarily want to look into it because I like going into it blind, but it might end up actually just being a boss drop, which means that I wouldn't naturally stumble upon it today because I've already killed the bosses. There's his room. It sure is pretty. Hopefully I can just kill this guy super easy. Now, the game, as far as I know, doesn't really instruct you of any of this, but in order to kill this boss, you're gonna have to use these crystal skull shards. Oh, we're getting ambushed. So if I end up consuming them, it will take a certain amount of these shards, and you just get them all over the world. It's not like that big of a deal. By this point, you'll probably have more than me. And that ends up giving us the Skull of the Corrupt Shaman. And this is going to end up being the item to summon the boss. Oops. Oh, well, that worked anyways. I guess I do gotta just place it down. And then I'll be careful to show you guys his mechanics because he's got 2 phases and he was an extremely difficult boss back in the day. So don't feel bad if you die a lot. Oh, there we go. He's already getting a little bit mad. So he's throwing fire on the arena. And if you have a water bucket, it is really useful to put the flame out because otherwise it's just gonna slowly clog up the whole arena. So let's kill him and have him go into his second phase where now he's like Fire Punch Man. And he used to, again, just be like insanely difficult to manage. He's a very, very difficult kite boss. But I just wanted to show you guys a quick little preview and then otherwise I'm going to destroy this man. I'm curious what he drops. Oh, Rift Lens. Offhand, teleport a short distance. Oh, really? What does this do? Oh my dear Lord, that's so cool. Oh, that's beautiful. Now there's one last thing I want to show you guys really quick. At the edge of the world, there's going to end up being this indestructible wall. And what you'll notice, if you map it out, you can, is that it's going to surround your entire world. But anyways, let's go back to the statue, plop the stolen heart in, and this will allow us to craft the ritual dagger, the blue leather tome, and then the ancient hologram pod. This is for another NPC. So this next NPC didn't need a house, but I built him a house anyway. He's a hologram, so you just place him down and then there you go. But before we talk to him, let's talk to the big boy. Thou must travel far out to the Great Wall and lay a hand upon it to open it. And so, ladies and gentlemen, when you get to this point, that's gonna conclude the weekend free play of the game. But what would happen is the wall would lower and the rest of the world would become available to you. And then that's where this NPC is gonna help you out because he'll sell you scanners for the new bosses. He'll also sell you summoning tools for certain bosses that will require various materials. And just to give you a little brief perspective in my main world here, if I zoom the map out, this is where the Devourer was, and then this is where the wall was. And yeah, as I mentioned before, this is top-down Terraria. It's amazing, highly recommend it. If you enjoyed even the slightest bit of the free demo over the weekend, buy it. Buy it for some friends, play through it together. I'm going to end up doing a 1.0 playthrough of this game, but that ends up coming out a little bit later. And with all of that out of the way, ladies and gentlemen, we gotta call it here. A bit of a lengthier video today, but I did want to kind of focus on just kind of instructing you about like the various mechanics of the game that the game is not very forthcoming about. But in any case, if you enjoyed this video and watched to the end, I would very much appreciate you like the video, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all the YouTube stuff. And I've already got a very, very lengthy Core Keeper series on the channel.